Lewis Hamilton didn't just throw shade, he lit a fire under the entire Formula One world. With just one calculated jab, he exposed Christian Horner's rumored move to Ferrari as more than just a team switch. It's a full-blown power struggle that could reshape F1 forever. Nobody saw this coming, not even Formula One's most seasoned insiders. In a moment that left paddocks buzzing and social media in a frenzy, Lewis Hamilton dropped a bombshell that could reshape the landscape of modern F1, a cryptic but pointed comment aimed directly at Christian Horner in light of rumors swirling about his potential move to Ferrari. Yes, you read that right. Christian Horner, Mr. Red Bull Racing, the architect behind Max Verstappen's era of dominance, the man who's been synonymous with the Red Bull garage for nearly 2 decades, is being linked with Scuderia Ferrari. And just when that speculation was starting to feel like typical silly season noise, Hamilton added fuel to the fire with a twist of calculated shade. While speaking to reporters ahead of the Hungarian Grand Prix, Hamilton, who himself is preparing for his much-anticipated Ferrari debut in 2025, was asked about the possibility of Horner joining the Italian giants. His response? A smirk, followed by a pause that said more than words. Then he dropped it. If Ferrari want to win, they'll need someone who can lead with integrity, not just politics. The F1 world stopped. It was the kind of comment that doesn't just hit headlines, it shapes narratives. Because Hamilton isn't just a 7-time world champion. He's a master of mind games, and he knows the weight his words carry. And by questioning Horner's integrity, he didn't just comment on a rumor, he challenged the soul of any potential Ferrari-Horner alliance. Let's be clear, Ferrari is already navigating a transition, with Frederic Vasseur still trying to steady the ship post-Binotto, and Hamilton's arrival set to change the team dynamic dramatically. The last thing Maranello needs is chaos. But Horner, should he join, would bring not only a legacy of winning, but also the baggage of political maneuvering, ego clashes, and controversy. And Hamilton knows that better than anyone. Their history is well documented, from intense title battles to paddock wars and heated press conference exchanges. Hamilton and Horner have never truly seen eye to eye. Horner has long been critical of Hamilton's off-track distractions, while Hamilton has repeatedly questioned Red Bull's methods, especially during the bitter 2021 championship battle that ended in Abu Dhabi. Drama. The scars from that season never fully healed, and now they might be reopened in red. So what's actually going on behind the scenes? Why would Ferrari, of all teams, consider Christian Horner? Sources close to Maranello suggest dissatisfaction with Vasseur's leadership is quietly growing, while Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz have voiced support publicly. Internal frustration over race strategy errors, development, pace, and morale have left the door open for a more dominant figure to step in. Horner, with his proven record, immediate authority, and experience handling high-pressure situations, is suddenly a viable, if risky, option. But Hamilton's veiled shot at Horner isn't just personal. It's tactical. He knows Ferrari is at a crossroads. Bringing in Horner could mean shifting power dynamics within the team, possibly even undermining Hamilton's influence before he even dons the red suit for the first time. And that's where this gets spicy, because Hamilton didn't just sign with Ferrari to end his career in red. He came to reshape Ferrari, to leave a lasting legacy, to win his way. And Horner's presence could disrupt all of that. This bombshell wasn't just a reaction, it was a warning. Make no mistake, the Ferrari garage in 2025 could be one of the most volatile in recent F1 history. Hamilton, one of the sport's greatest ever, chasing his 8th title. Potentially Christian Horner, a master strategist and operator, bringing in his own philosophy, and a team desperate for redemption after years of misfires. That's a pressure cooker of egos, ambition, and legacy. And here's the twist. Some insiders believe this isn't just about Ferrari. It's about Red Bull too. Could Horner be eyeing the exit amid increasing tension? Within his own camp, rumors of rifts with Helmut Marko, whispers of unrest. From Red Bull's parent company following off-track controversies, there's a storm quietly brewing behind Red Bull's smooth exterior. If Horner sees a future where Max Verstappen might walk away, or where internal politics choke his control, Ferrari becomes more than just an option, it becomes an escape. So when Hamilton dropped that bombshell, it wasn't just about a hypothetical. It might be his way of trying to control the battlefield before the fight even begins. Classic Lewis. But will Ferrari listen? Will Horner take the bait? And could this be the start of the most dramatic power shift Formula One has seen since Hamilton's own shock move from McLaren to Mercedes over a decade ago? If Lewis Hamilton's cryptic shot at Christian Horner was a warning, then the F1 world is bracing for impact. Because whether Horner truly leaves Red Bull for Ferrari or not, the very idea of it has cracked the foundation of two of the sport's most powerful dynasties and lit the fuse on a powder keg no one can ignore. Inside Red Bull Racing, the whispers have grown louder. Christian Horner has always projected calm confidence, but the tension within Milton Keynes has been undeniable. Sources suggest internal struggles with Red Bull GmbH, particularly after the off-track controversies earlier in 2025, have taken a toll. There's friction between Horner and longtime advisor Helmut Marko, and rumors persist that Max Verstappen himself is evaluating his future beyond 2026, depending on how things play out. That's no small deal. Horner leaving Red Bull wouldn't just be a management shuffle, it would be an earthquake. He's not just a team principal. He's the face, the architect, and, in many ways, the power center of Red Bull Racing. His departure could spark a chain reaction. Top engineers, strategy leads, even driver loyalty could suddenly be in play. Red Bull's once untouchable dominance could wobble, and Ferrari knows it, which is exactly why they're circling. For Ferrari, the interest in Horner isn't just about winning, it's about winning. Now, with Hamilton arriving in 2025 and the pressure to deliver peaking, Ferrari is desperate for leadership that matches their ambitions. They need someone who can handle the media, inspire the garage, and play politics at the top level. Horner ticks every box. But here's where it gets deliciously complex. Hamilton and Horner in the same garage with full authority. That's a chemistry experiment with a lit match. Let's not forget, Horner has made subtle digs at Hamilton for years, calling him distracted by celebrity, questioning his commitment, even mocking his fashion and activism. Hamilton, for his part, has accused Red Bull under Horner of favoritism, unsportsmanlike conduct, and pushing gray areas of the rules. That 2021 Abu Dhabi fallout? Still very raw. Put them on the same team, and you don't just have fireworks, you have a civil war waiting to happen. And yet, Ferrari might do it, because they know Horner brings results. And Hamilton, he's not afraid of conflict. He thrives in it. He once went toe-to-toe with Nico Rosberg in a pressure cooker Mercedes garage and came out stronger. If Ferrari thinks this chaos can deliver titles, they may lean into it. Still, it begs a deeper question. Who really controls Ferrari's future, Hamilton or Horner? If both arrive in 2025, the internal battle for influence could be intense. Would Horner want full authority over racing strategy? Would Hamilton demand veto power over team decisions? And what happens when the first major disagreement explodes in the media? As it surely would. Fans might love the drama, but success needs unity. Ferrari hasn't won a constructors' title since 2008, and they've seen how internal conflict kills momentum. If this power pairing goes wrong, it could backfire spectacularly. Meanwhile, back at Red Bull, Verstappen could suddenly find himself without his trusted boss. That's not a minor detail. Max has always had Horner's backing. If Christian leaves, Max might start listening more closely to Mercedes or Audi whispers. That could crack open the 2026 driver market in ways we haven't seen in a decade. F1's balance of power could shift overnight. Now step back for a moment and think about this. The three biggest names in modern F1, Hamilton, Horner, and Verstappen, are all orbiting the same high-stakes moment, with Ferrari as the gravitational center. That's not just a story. That's history in the making. And that's why Hamilton's bombshell matters so much. He knows exactly what he's doing. By questioning Horner's integrity, he's forcing Ferrari to think twice. He's drawing a line in the sand early, saying, "If I'm coming to build something great, I won't share the wheel." That's not arrogance. That's strategy. He's not just racing anymore. He's engineering legacies. So what happens next? If Ferrari truly wants Horner, they'll need to make a brutal decision. Can they manage two alpha personalities at once? Can they afford the tension in exchange for performance? And more importantly, can they convince fans, investors, and their own team that this risk is worth it? For Horner, the stakes are equally high. Jumping to Ferrari would mean leaving the empire he built. It would be a gamble not just for legacy but reputation. If he fails in Red, critics will say he was only ever good because of Red Bull's structure. If he wins, he becomes a legend on two fronts. As for Hamilton, he's already written his name in the history books. But this next chapter, the Ferrari chapter, is personal. He didn't leave Mercedes to be part of someone else's plan. He left to build his own. And he knows that every move from here could define how the world remembers him. So the question is no longer, will Christian Horner go to Ferrari? It's, if he does, what happens when Hamilton and Horner are forced to share a garage? That's not just a team drama. That's a Formula One revolution in the making. This isn't your usual team rumor. It's a full-scale power play between the sport's most iconic figures. Hamilton just fired the first shot. Now the world waits to see whether Horner answers or walks straight into the lion's den. Want more inside takes on F1 power moves, driver wars, and braking paddock drama? Follow now, drop your thoughts in the comments, and tell us, if you were Ferrari, would you choose Hamilton's vision or Horner's experience?